Hi, my name is Elizabeth Doherty Thomas. I'm co-founder of the Doherty Relationship Institute. If you see couples as a couples therapist, you may want to check out the Doherty approach method of seeing couples. So it's Bill Doherty, my father's way of seeing couples since the 1970s, and it pulled came out of him through a lot of conversations with me. And one of the things that we really came to realize is that ultimately our view of marriage and the conflicts that can occur in marriage is more uh, comedy than tragedy, and not comedy in the sense of ha ha ha, this is really funny, we're in deep fights, but more in sort of a Greek tragedy way of like, oh, life is hard and we stumble and we bumble, but we get through it. And ultimately, wasn't it just such an amazing ride, this thing called life? And the reason I'm mentioning it in this video is you may also feel like, yeah, that's true. Life gets tough and sense of humor helps, and a sense of normalization helps, and a sense of resiliency helps. A sense that everybody has agency in this life. Everybody has the ability to get through and get to the other side, and that we can infuse that in our couples and not overly going to make up a word now, tragify. I don't even know if anybody uses that word. Um, but we don't have to make everything such a tragedy with our couples. And the way you do that is you just have a lot of the way you talk about the issues, the way you help them through it is a lot of normalizing, a lot of, yeah, that is really hard. And being able to help people move into what you can do differently rather than getting stuck in the tragedy. So it's a very optimistic approach. It's a very kind of everyday normal language approach. It's a very transparent approach. So whatever the couples bring, we're not overly embedded in either of them having some unfixable, hopeless way they can't get through it. Because ultimately, what we like to say is not going on a second date with somebody, that makes sense. You weed things out. But by the time people come to couples therapy, they have not only dated, they got engaged, they got married. And we need to make sure we keep the levity, we keep the fact that they once fell in love. And just because they're in a rough spot doesn't mean they can't get through to the other side. So if this at all is interesting to you, check us out at thedohertyapproach.com.